Well, for the carbon capture process, it basically begins at the end of the boiler system for BE3. So after the generation of the electricity is done, the coal is burned in the boiler to produce the steam to produce the electricity. The flue gas comes through first through the electrostatic precipitator to remove the fly ash, and then at that point there's a damper that can either send it up to the stack, which would be the typical or usual place where it winds up, or it can come over to the carbon capture side. So when it comes over the carbon capture side, we basically take that flue gas and take it from about 385 degrees down to about 185 degrees Fahrenheit. It cools it down. Now there's a lot of moisture in our coal, so we use the flue gas cooler to condense that moisture, and we actually use it as part of our recovery process in the system to minimize the amount of water that we take from the reservoir. And once the flue gas is cooled down, that optimizes it for the chemistry part of the process where it's exposed to the amine. And what the amines do is allow chemical complexes to be formed between the carbon dioxide and the sulfur dioxide, which are the two gases we're looking to recover here. Allows them to form a complex that we can then take and transport later on to a stripper section where we can actually make those complexes fall apart and recover the gases from them. So we get the CO2 gas or the SO2 gas out, and then the amine is then recycled back to those absorber towers to interact with more flue gas so they can capture more gases and then bring them back to the stripper sides, and then we can collect more SO2 and CO2. Now when we collect those gases, the CO2 side we send to a compressor, and the compressor then takes it from about normal pressure of about 16 pounds per square inch up to a high pressure of about 2,400, 2,500 pounds per square inch. At that point, the CO2 becomes basically a liquid. And at that point, we can take that liquid and pump the CO2 out to Weyburn, out to the oil field, where it's there used by Cenovus to use an enhanced oil recovery process to recover more oil out of the wells. Now, the SO2 gas that we remove, we take that gas, we do a little bit of chemical manipulation on it, and we turn it into sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is the most commonly used chemical in industrial chemical in North America, and we have an off-taker, Chemtrade, who takes that sulfuric acid and then sends it to market. So that's basically an overall of the process. This is nothing new. This technology has been around for a long time, except it's never been done at this scale and for this application at a power plant. So this is a world first. And the other unique thing about the carbon capture plant here is that it's fully integrated. So all of the energy that is needed to run the power plant comes from the Boundary Dam Power Station. So that also makes it a very unique facility as well. So.